Hi, fifth graders. It's time for part 2 of lesson 5. So you're going to need your notes packet. Get that opened up. And we're on page 7. The top of it should look like this. Place value sections method. So yesterday we looked at how we could use the area model to help us multiply some numbers. And the one thing that all those problems had in common is one of the digits you multiplied was a single digit. With these, you're going to look at multiplying a double digit by another double digit. Okay, so it says you can use a similar method to multiply larger values by breaking the rectangle into place value sections. You can then find the products of all the smaller parts, which is called partial products, because you're finding parts of a product, and that's a root word, a partial. Okay, I'm going to show you how this works. We have 15 times 23. And I usually would write, now this is a rectangle, the lower digit on the shorter side and the higher digit on the longer side. It doesn't matter because multiplication is commutative, but just visually, that's what I always end up doing. So if we're trying to use the area model, we could try to do the 15 and then separate this into 20 plus 3, or this into 10 plus 5. But both of these could actually be broken up into a multiple of 10 and then a single digit. So in multiplying these two, yesterday you just drew one line down because you're breaking up one number. Today we're going to break up this number and this number. So you end up having 4 sections instead. Now don't get caught up into the size of these boxes. It doesn't really matter. This is just a visual of partial products. Okay, so this 15, I'm going to break that up into 10 plus 5. So this little part here, I'll make 10. This little part here, I'll make 5. It doesn't matter that this is smaller than that. It's about what ends up being inside. And the same thing with 23. I'm going to break 23 up into, can you guess? Yeah, 20 plus 3. So we're breaking it up into 10s and 1s, right? Okay, so we're going to use what we have learned about multiplying by multiples of 10 to help us out with this. In order to find, we're going to find the area of each of these 4 pieces and then put them together. So again, what I did was I separated the 15 into 10 plus 5, and I separated the 23 into 20 plus 3. Now we're going to find the area of each section. So this section is 10 by 20, right? So to find the area of that, we would do 10 times 20. And you already learned that you can do 1 times 2 is 2, and then there are 2 zeros. Now this little section right here is, if this side's 10, so is this, is 10 by 3. So to find the area of this piece, you would take this 10 times that 3, and you would get 30. Now down here, this rectangle, this side is 5, and this side matches this one. So this is 5 by 20. So I'm going to take 5 times 20, and I know that 5 times 2 is 10, and then there's that extra 0, so 5 times 20 is 100. And for this last little rectangle, if this is 5, so is this. And if this is 3, so is this. So 5 times 3. And that gives us 15. All right. Now, to find the answer to the whole thing, you just need to add these 4 values together. So we have 200 plus 100 plus 30 plus 15. And please keep in mind, you can write those in any order that you want, because when you add numbers, the order doesn't matter, right? You'll get the same sum at the end. So 0, 0, 0, 5 is 5. 0, 0, 3 plus 1 is 4. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So 345 is your answer. Those of you at home watching this, I know you want to jump to that standard algorithm, the traditional method. We're going to get there, I promise. But right now, your child's basically seeing how the standard algorithm came to be and being able to represent this visually. So it's not about how we're solving the problem. It's being able to connect and think about this in terms of area. So it goes much deeper. So I promise you, we'll do the standard algorithm eventually, but just go with the flow. Thank you. All right, 24 times 62. Along this side, I would put my 24. So instead of 24, I'm going to separate this, and I'm going to put a 20 plus a 4. That makes my 24. Now 62, I'm going to put along the top, but I'm not going to put 62. I'm going to put the 10s, which is 60, and the 1s, which is 2. So 60 plus the 2. So now I have 24 times 62. It's just broken up into tens and ones. To find the area of this piece, I would multiply the 20 by the 60. And 2 times 6 is 12, and there are 1, 2 zeros. To find the area of this piece, this side's 20, so this is 20 by 2, so I would do 20 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, and there's my 0, so 40. To find the area of this piece, this section is 4, and this section right here matches this one, it's 60. So to find the answer to this, I would do 4 times 60. And 4 times 6 is 24, and there's our 0. And this last little piece, if this is 4, so is this. And if this is 2, so is this. So I would do 4 times 2, which is 8. Now to find the area of the whole thing, yeah, we're going to add all those up. So I would take my 1,200, my 240, my 40, and my 8. And again, it does not matter what order you write those 4 numbers in, as long as your place values are lined up correctly, you're good. So when I add the ones, I get 8. When I add the tens, I get 8. When I add the hundreds, I get 4, and the thousands, I get 1. So 1,488 is what you should have for that. All right, are you ready for the next one? Let's go. Letter C, 43 times 67. 43 times 67. Okay, so on this shorter side, I'm going to put the 43, and I'm going to break that up into my tens, which is 40, and my ones, which is 3. So 40 plus 3, that's my 43. Now I have 67. I'm going to break that up into 60 and 7, my tens, my ones. We're going to go ahead and multiply all of these together to find our partial products. So for this rectangle right here, this one would be 40 by 60. 40 times 60, so 4 times 6 is 24, and I see 2 zeros. All right, next I see this is 40, so this would be 40 times, and this piece is 7. 4 times 7 is 28, and there's my 0. Do you see why we had to do the review of multiplying by multiples of tens? I'm hoping that's making sense of why we did that. All right, next, down here, this little piece is 3. And this side length right here matches that, so 60. 3 times 6 is 18, and there's our 0. And this last little section, if this is 3, that means this is 3. And if this is 7, that means this is 7, which would be 21. Now all we have to do is put them all together. So let's go ahead and take our 2,400, our 280, our 180, and our 21, and add them all up together. So when I add my ones, I get 1. When I add my tens, 8 plus 8 is 16, 17, 18. Carry my 1. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll bring down my 2 because there are no other thousands to add to that. So we get 2,881. All right, we're going to do 3 more of these. Feel free to pause and try and then press play to check your work, but I wouldn't try to do all of the next 3 on page 8. I would do 1 at a time and then press play just to make sure you're on the right track for each one. All right, so now we're on page 8. We have 39 times 54, so maybe you're going to pause it, and if not, don't worry about it. It's okay. So 39, 54, I'm going to break up 39 into tens and ones. So I have 30 plus 9. I'm going to break up 54 into my tens and my ones, so 50 plus the 4. All right, now we're going to find the partial product. We're going to find each of these. So 30 by 50, the area would mean 30 times 50. 3 times 5 is 15, and we have 2 zeros. For this, I have 30, and this piece is 4. So this would be 30 times 4 to get the area. 4 times 3 is 12. I put my 0. This piece here, this is 9, and along the top is 50. So 9 times 50 will give me this area, and 9 times 5 is 45, and I'll put my 0 right there. And this last little piece is 9 by 4, and 9 times 4 is 36. All right, so let's go ahead and add all of those products together. These are all parts of the entire product. That's why they call it partial product. So we have 1,500, we have 120, we have 450, we have 36. We want to add all of those up. So when I add my ones, I get 6. And for my tens, I have 5 plus 2 is 7. And 7 plus 3 is 10, so I need to carry that one. And 4, 5, 10, 11. Carry that one. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2,106 is what you should have for that. All right, next. Now, I know that I wrote them vertically like this because sometimes you're going to see them vertically like that. You can still use this strategy. That is totally fine. So if you want to pause it, go for it. And if you're not ready to pause it yet, then don't. I'm not worried about it. You don't be worried about it either. This is your first time at this. So 59, I'm going to break up into 50 and 9. And 73, I'm going to break that up into 70 and 3. Now to find my partial products. The area of this rectangle here is 50 by 70, so I would do 50 times 70. 5 times 7 is 35, and I have my 2 zeros. The area of this rectangle, this side matches this, so that's 50, and across the top we have 3. And 5 times 3 is 15, and I put my 0. This rectangle here, this side is 9, and across the top, you can follow right up to that, it's 70. And 9 times 7 is 63, and there's my 0. And this last little piece, if this is 9, so is that. And if this is 3, so is that. So 9 times 3, 27. Okay, now we need to put them all together. 3,500, 150, 630, 27. I'm going to add up all my place values. So my ones, I get 7. In my tens, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry my 1. And I have 5, 6, and 6 make 12, and then there's 13. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So 4,307 is what you get. All right, ready for the last one? If you haven't tried pausing it yet, I would encourage you to try pausing right here and seeing how you do with it. All right, so I have 68 and 72. And it doesn't matter if you write the 68 across here or across here. I usually put the lower digit on the shorter side, but it won't make a difference in your answer. So I would separate 68 into 60 plus 8. And I'm going to separate 72 into 70 plus 2. Now let's find the area of each piece. This is 60 by 70. And 60 times 70, 6 times 7 is 42. And there's 2 zeros. And this piece is 60 by 2. 6 times 2 is 12, and there's my 0. This piece here is 8 by 70. And 8 times 70, 8 times 7 is 56, times another 10 is 560. And our last little piece here is 8 by 2. And 8 times 2 is 16. All right, now to find the area of the whole thing, we are going to add all of these partial products together. So 4,200 plus 120 plus 560 plus 16, any order that you want. As long as your place values are lined up, you're good. When I add my ones, I get 6. When I add my tens, I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4 plus nothing because there aren't any other thousands. 4,896. So now you know how to multiply double-digit numbers using the place value sections method. Talk to you later.